Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Next to Madison. I am your host, Madison Malloy, and on this episode, we are talking how to master your mind and sales tips and tricks you need to know to make yourself a master at the game. And this guy that I'm sitting down with, he is the sales guru. His name is Elliot. I'm so honored that I was able to get him as a guest on this podcast. This guy is motivating, inspiring. He is dropping so many tips and tricks that is going to get each and every one of you listening to somehow improve your life, because we all can improve in some area. Was taking notes the whole time, and I now, after this podcast, am going to go start working on some stuff that maybe I was procrastinating a little bit on. You cannot miss this episode. If you miss this episode, you will get behind. This guy is unbelievable. He dropped some amazing information on how to become the top 1% in your field, mastering your craft, tips for confidence, how important fitness is, what you can do to kind of be unstoppable. He talks about his family life and how he's motivating his kids at such a young age, why him and his wife have such a strong marriage, and how you can have a better relationship as well, how to be more present in your everyday life. There's so much, so I'm going to stop talking so we can get to this amazing interview. But before we do that, please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe, and share it with a friend. This is going to be an amazing episode, so we'll be right back after this message on this episode of Next to Madison.
Hey, it's Madison Malloy. I'm excited to announce that my new book, Time to Lighten the Fuck Up, is now available online and in stores. You can pick up your copy today by going to Amazon or barnesandnoble.com. This new book is a humorous self-help guide to help you remove the obstacles that are holding you back so you can take things less seriously and live a more enjoyable life. I'm so excited for you to read it. Now back to the show.
Back with our amazing guest. I'm so excited for this episode. It's going to be amazing. I'm here with the legendary sales guru, Elliot. I can't believe he's on the show. How are you?
Good. Having the best day of my life. Number one, you're amazing. We're grateful. Whoever's watching this is going to get a lot of value. I'd highly recommend get a pen, get a piece of paper, unless you're driving. Then don't do it. And let's kick some butt.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so I know your backstory, but a lot of people that are listening do not. So can you tell us about your car sales days and kind of how it led to this empire that you've built?
Yeah, so number one, everybody in life, it doesn't matter who you are, is looking for an opportunity, right? So it doesn't matter what it is. And I guarantee most of the people right now that are doing something never thought they would be doing it, or they end up doing something they never thought they would do. Because what we think we're going to do sometimes isn't the best thing for us to do. And by the way, automotive is transportation is a big industry, but automotive, when you hear people say car salesman, well, people think, oh, car salesman. Well, listen, let me explain this to you, okay? I'm not a car salesman anymore, but I do train car salesmen all over the world. I broke the record in the United States for the most money made when I was younger as a car salesman because it was simple. And I've got a team behind me. So if they get loud, and we've got 70 guys, they're killers that work with me. But the biggest thing is that at 18 years old, I got a job selling cars. And I'll go back, I was born a loser, but at 18, I got a job selling cars. And my manager told me, if you go to a Starbucks right now, Andy, and somebody was taking a survey, what do you think about car salesmen? They'd say robbers, cheats, thieves, and liars. He goes, what would they say after they met you? That's what I'm going to do is I'm going to build you to be a pro, not an amateur. So I want you to think about that no matter what industry you're in, okay? What does it pay to be the top 1% in the world at what you do? Write that down. What does that pay? The top 1%. And our goal is in this conversation today is to show you how to become the top 1% and how to earn what you're worth. And literally the whole world will know your name. So I'm going to tell you, at 18 years old, I got into the automotive space. I met a guy that believed in me when no one else did, okay? And I decided to go pro and not be a freaking amateur. And everybody that I ran into, the way that I spoke, the way that I talked, the way I believed in myself, the way I could articulate my words, my passion. Dude, write down passion, write down energy, winning energy. You know, people have problems in life. They got losers. I pep talk my way through every freaking deal, man. Everybody I saw, I showed them love, right? I mean, I showed them massive love, and they didn't want to detach from me. So then I ended up doing business with almost everybody I connected with, whether it was on the phone or in person. And you can do the same thing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when I was born, right, my mom left it when I was 2 years old. And this isn't a victim story, but she left when I was 2. She's an alcoholic. She's a loser. My dad raised 5 brothers and sisters. It was a Jerry Springer shit show. So I'm 43.
Wow.
Jerry Springer was a show growing up. Like we're just raised losers. And there's a lot of people on this call that like, nobody believes in you. Nobody thought you'd amount to something. You were the least likely to make it, right? Who cares? There's the day you're born, the day you die, and the day your life changes forever. I made straight D's in school. I was going to fail. Tornado. I live in Oklahoma. A tornado wipes out my high school. And they said, if you have, because, we're in Tornado Alley in Oklahoma, and they say, if you have passing grades, you get to walk. So I didn't have to take my semester's tests, which I would have failed and had to go back to school again. I got to walk, and I got a job selling cars. And I'm telling you, I stuttered. My wife will tell you, I stuttered. I didn't know how to speak. Dude, business wasn't a part of our life. My dad said, get a job, stay out of jail. I wanted a job. And my first day on the job, I go out there and I got lucky. There's a thing in sales called a laydown, where like, you don't have to sell anything. You get lucky. It's called a laydown or a layup. It's just the guy was going to buy whether I did my job or I not. I was really nice to him, and he bought. And the deal is that I had no skill. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was kind and polite. Here's the craziest thing. When he gets out of the finance office, my manager pages me and he goes, Andy Elliot, Sales Tower. He goes, you know how much money you just made? And I said, if I can make $5, because I didn't have a car, I didn't have any money, I was starving. And he goes, I said, if I just made $5 so I can go get some food, dude, I'd be fired. He goes, dude, you just made $1,700. At that moment,
Wow.
I watch this, that first deal, right? That first deal, like that moment, like my veins ran different. The blood came through my body different. And I go, dude, this is my way out.
Yeah.
This is it. Sales. This is my way out. I'm freaking no one. But guess what? I'm going to become someone. And literally at that moment, I decided to learn how to do a couple things. And if you're in sales, if you're a persuader, if you influence, if you got a business, right? Like this is going to be really important. Number one, you're going to have to learn how to master a stranger. I'm an introvert. I don't know how to talk to people. I'm afraid to talk to people. I'm scared to death.
Okay? What?
Yeah, no, like for real. But introverts, how they learn is they train. Because if someone says, hey, Andy, I need to think about it. If I don't know what to say, I'll shut down. Yeah. I'm an introvert. I'm not a gift the gab guy. I wasn't that guy. But I trained with a manager that would teach me what to say at the time I needed to say it. Guy would say, I need to think about it. I'd say, well, of course you need to think about it. I'd go, I haven't given you enough information not to think about it. What I'd like to do is give you a quick 5-minute proposal of all the numbers. So when you go home, you got something to think about. Would that be fair? I take my hand, stick it in his chest. And I'd take him inside. I'd sell him a car. And I would just keep things rolling forward. And I never, ever got stuck. Why? Because I trained. And we're in a world right now where people don't train. They're not prepared. They're not the best at what they do, but they could be. Yeah. So what that means is that they're not putting their priorities, what they want in life first. Now, I'm going to tell you at the end of this call, everybody listening will know how to destroy everything that gets in their way. Our goal isn't to motivate people today. It's not even to get people driven, which I want to get people driven. We want to make them obsessed with one thing. In entrepreneurship, we could say, hey, entrepreneurs have 7 streams of income. Look, dude, if you do 7 things good, but none of them great, you are a master of none. If you can do one thing great and you can master it, and become the top 1% in the world at that, you will be rich. Wow. And so that's our goal, is to pick a vehicle, right? Pick what industry you want to do, and then learn how to do 2 things. Number one, become the best in the world at that industry. Don't ever let anybody else know your industry better than you. That's simply, don't ever let anyone else in the world know your industry better than you. If you're going to compete with me and I do this and you do that, I'm going to bury you. Number 2, try to figure out how to kick your own ass every single day. Don't let another competitor find your holes. You find your holes, find your weaknesses, expose them, put a light on them, and then fix them. And then you'll grow like crazy. Most of the world wants to take and brush it under the rug when there's a problem. No, we want to bring it to light, fix it, and then live savage. You know, like we want to do this. So anyway, so that's what our business does now. But going back to 18, I literally fell in love with delivering cars. And guess what? My last year selling cars made 716 grand. And now as a young guy, I'm 20, 21, 22, the managers would tell us, if you did a good job selling cars, you could make about 120 grand. We made 7 times that. Now, how? We trained, we practiced. You know what's silly? You know, Madison, if somebody in your industry had a common set of 5 objections they dealt with daily that prevented clients from doing the deal or closing the transaction or whatever, wouldn't you imagine that these people would write down these things and then find people who were really good at those things and then study them and pay as much as possible to get close in proximity to them and learn what they know? And then not envy, but emulate what those people are doing. And then look in the mirror, say it to themselves, memorize everything word for word, skill stack, and then record themselves saying those things so they can listen to how stupid they sound when they are practicing. So it encourages them to get better faster. And then it's freaking over.
Brilliant.
That's it. And nobody in the world is doing this. You know why? Because they say they don't have time. Busy equals broke. Productive equals paid. You want to get
Oh,
paid?
I love that. Can you repeat that again? That's worth repeating. I like that.
I said busy equals broke. Anytime somebody says, oh, I'm busy, I'm too busy to do this. Hey, man, I assure you, you don't have what you want in your life. Productive equals paid. Busy equals broke. Productive equals paid.
Yeah.
There's 60 minutes in an hour. How you work 60 minutes in that hour is who you'll become. I assure you that whatever you want in life, if you'll become crystal clear what it is, mine was, dude, I just didn't want to be broke anymore. I didn't want to be a loser anymore. Dude, I wanted to truly, no matter how much I made, I wanted to prove everybody else wrong. And honestly, I was tired of finishing not first. And guess what? Everybody, I call it reinvent yourself, recreate yourself, total recreation, whatever it is. And by the way, you know what's crazy? Is that we can take someone at the age of 40 years old or even 50 or 18. And that person can look in the mirror like winners do and say, I'm the problem. I'm also the solution.
Yeah.
Let's figure out where I'm not at. And then they start working on themselves. And I believe in a system called physical mental business. So physical means when I wasn't doing great in life, I always look back at those times. I was never in peak physical shape.
Oh,
Okay. Now, because I wasn't in physical shape, I didn't believe in myself. And therefore I had cracks in my mental game. Okay. And you're either going to break mentally or you're going to break records. And if you're in physical shape, you'll be mentally strong and then you're going to crush it in business. So I always tell people, and we don't own a fitness company, but I tell people, I say, if you want to destroy it, you're going to need to get in the best physical shape of your life. And it has to be a priority, a must do in your life. And then, I mean, your goal is to make a lot of money, not for a few years, but to live a long time and make a lot of money. Plus, I want to give a lot of energy to my wife. I want to give a lot of energy to my kids. And I want to show up with my clients. And if you're going to compete against a guy or a woman who's in shape and you're not, they're going to crush you. They will. And by the way, let me tell you why. You may say, well, Andy, I know lots of guys that are, they're not in great shape and they're killing it, but not forever.
Yes.
I want to win for decades, not for a couple years. In 5 years, they're going to be on diabetes medication. They're going to have problems. They're not going to feel good. They're going to have problem breathing. I'm not. So my goal is you may beat me today, but I'm going to come after you eventually. At some point, you're going to let off and I'm going to take you down. But anyways, selling automotive was the vehicle. We killed it. It was amazing. I met my wife. And then you can ask another question, but I want to talk about for my leaders for a minute. Okay. So anybody that owns a business, and I know that you deal and talk to a lot of people that have companies, they have employees that work for them. I want to explain something to you. I believe in something called human capital. Okay. It's called people. You can have inventory, you can have advertising, you can have buildings, you can have all that. But if you can't develop and grow people, you're useless. You're useless. You're not a leader. You're a manager. You run people by manipulation. If you don't do this, I'm not going to pay you. Listen, you can take the title away from me. You can strip away everything that I have. I am a leader. And a follower chooses to follow a leader because they want to follow them, because they want to emulate what they're doing, because they're setting the example. and because you feel powerful around that person. So you want to follow them.
Yeah.
And that's the way that real leaders should lead, is by that, not by a title or by seniority or by rank. That means nothing. But there was a time where I was really good at what I did. And I called myself a closer. I was a general manager. I was a closer. I was doing better than most. I was killing it, but I could never leave work because I was the best. So work didn't get done at the same way it got done when I was there, when I was gone. So I could never leave. And one day, my wife's right here with me. She tells me, she goes, Andy, we've learned to live without you. And now listen to me. I'm telling you, as I'm sitting there and you're a man, you're killing it, or you're a woman, you're killing it, you're crushing it, and you're doing great. I went from being broke. Now we're making, a couple million a year. Dude, I'm doing better than I've ever done. And all of a sudden, she's like, we've learned to live without you. Let me explain. She goes, Andy, you're the best salesman in the world. You're the best closer, but you've never built a team. You have people that work for you, but really you're a sales assistant. You're a babysitter. You babysit these people all day long. You're the best at what you do. You've never taught them. Is your team better than you? I said, no. She's like, they should be, because that's your job, is to make them better. But you don't. So what happens is you leave us at home. You come home late at night, and we support you. On the weekends when you're here, or even on Sundays when you're here, you're thinking about being at work the next day. You're in the pictures, but you're really not with us. She goes, dude, you're one-dimensional. So if somebody's taking notes, I'd say, don't be one-dimensional. What does that mean? You can have your health. At that point, my wife reaches down, grabs my love handle, right, and says, listen to me. You're not in the shape you've always wanted to be, and I can't believe you've let yourself go. Your family, the most important thing to you in the world, why you're doing all this for, you should be freaking doing it for us, but you're not. You're doing it now because you're stuck in a cycle. And I don't know who you're comparing yourself to. And I know a lot of people say, we can have this, but you got to give up this. There's what you want. Remember, we've always been taught there's what you want, where you want to go, and what you're willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
So what we do as entrepreneurs, we say, well, sacrifice health. And when I get the money, then I'm going to go get in great shape. I guarantee I'm going to get the best trainer out there. Well, that's not how it works, because you're never going to get where you want to go if you don't stay in great shape. And then also, what value is it to have a family and kids, or a husband and a wife and people that you love that will be there with you if you get sick and die, and they'll be by your side when your job won't. But all these people that really love you, what value is it to have this and then chase this and lose this? And that's why you see all these multimillionaires and billionaires, they have this and they had it, and then they chase this. And if they ever do get it, they look back and they lost this along the way, and they're miserable, and they got this. And they said, man, I'd give this up just to have this back.
Yeah.
So what we've learned is that, number one, don't be one-dimensional. Listen to me. Take your family with you, right? Be close. Okay. If you want to kill it in business, you need to freaking fall more in love with your wife every day, more in love with your husband every day. Also, you need to really like who you are. You need to look in the mirror and say, dude, I freaking like me a lot. And if somebody's like, you shouldn't talk to yourself that way, that's vain. Forget them. They're a loser. We cannot go through life and be great without loving who we are. So self-love has to be there. And I find that in the gym. I find that I enjoy working things out with myself through hard workouts. And it sets the tone for a great mood for the day. I come home, I'm good to my wife, I'm great to my children. It's just crazy what loving yourself does. But anyways, so your health, and then you also talk about your mental health, and then you talk about your family, take them with you. And my wife always says, where you are, be there. She says the biggest problem in the world, which this lady right here, which I'll tell you, babe, say what's up real quick, 30 seconds. She tells me all the time. She goes, everybody's problem is this. And it's the truth. She goes, you want to go to the gym, but when you're at the gym, you start thinking about how much work you got to do. So you're checking your emails, you're checking your phone. She goes, dude, why did you even go to the gym? You should have just went to work. She goes, and then when you go to work, you're pissed off and you're agitated and irritated because you didn't go to the gym. And you don't feel on your A game. You don't feel good in your clothes because you didn't go to the gym. But now you're at work and you're thinking about the gym. And then all day long, you're thinking about, damn, I need to spend some more time with my kids because my kids miss me. And then you go home with your kids and you're on your damn phone. She's like, listen to me. If everybody could just be where they are, be there. She's like, dude, people would be so fulfilled. Everybody would get everything.
Yes.
So not being one-dimensional, your family, your health, your money, falling in love with yourself, spirituality. Like, dude, you can have it all. And that lady who's crazy, okay, that hot Mexican blood mama, my wife, you know what? She taught me that. Look, that night when she said she learned to live without me, one simple thing. You freaking settled, dude. You didn't build the team around you. You did it all yourself. And look what all it's costed you. Now, wake up. Now, wake up. Go build the team. Go train. Get your ass in the gym. When you come home, okay, put your phone down. And guess what? We got disciplined. We went next level. We got obsessed, which is what I was talking about. And guess what? We started falling more in love with each other every day. Our children are closer than ever to their dad. And then guess what? Dude, our business at work tripled. It took 6 months to build the team, and they hated it at first, right? They hated training. You know, oh, training's so jaded. Training is the highest ROI. Look, there's no greater expense than the cost of a lost sale. So what I did is that I trained all my team how to not miss sales without me being there. I taught them everything that I knew. My sales team's making more money. We built a culture, which is what a leader's job is to do, is build a culture. We built a culture, and I actually, for the first time in my life, retired the professional babysitter, which I hated saying that, I was, and I actually became a leader. And guess what happened? I was at home at night eating dinner with my family. My company was continuing to make money and sell, and everything was great. And then one day, the owner, we built this company up from a $2 million company to 20 million. Okay. We're doing good. I'm, fired up. I'm a young buck. And he goes, I can't pay you as much as I'm paying you right now. Now, listen, I'm in sales. So anybody's in commission, there's something called money made, money paid. Mm-hmm. So like, if I say I'm going to pay you 10% commission when I hire you, just using a number, and the normal salesperson puts up 100,000 in revenue, well, then you're going to make 10 grand.
Yeah.
But what happens when you put up $1 million? Dude, I should be like, damn, you're making 100,000 a month. But what happens is owners start thinking, oh, we can't pay people 100,000 a month. They don't realize the million that the person's putting up for them. And companies do this all around the world. Okay.
Oh,
they
wow.
get what's called greed. They get greedy.
Yeah.
Right. You see it all the time. Okay. Pride comes before the fall. Hey, I should pay that guy. I could get two of him for what I'm paying him. And they forget about you building them that dream.
Yeah.
And then me and my wife, I reached out and I quit. And I walked away and I went home, and me and my wife decided to start a training company. By the way, she writes all my training. She's very smart. She built our company. She builds everything. We've got a massive team. We live in Scottsdale, Arizona. We started shooting videos in her kitchen. By the way, you know how everybody, because I know you're in the influencer space.
Yeah.
Everybody knows exactly what to do right now, but most of them won't do it because they're not going to get the results fast enough. And they'll underestimate the amount of effort that it takes to get their dream. So they won't go through with it. Brad Lee, there's a guy named Brad Lee, L-E-A.
Yeah, I follow him. He's great.
Yeah, he's our family, dude. I literally am.
He's hilarious.
The way, everything that, and not real family, but he's our blood brother, right?
Yeah.
My wife and his wife are tight. They're like best friends. Our children, they're on calls every day. They talk 24 hours a day. Me and him, we do business. We're buddies. We just got back off a cruise. Watch this. By the way, those people in your life that you want to look up to, if you'll do things right, you'll look up and you'll end up being close to those people. Craziest thing. They're looking for someone like you, psycho obsessive, who wants to win, who wants that stuff. And when they see you and they hear that you're listening and you're doing what they said to do and you're a student of the game, they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And guess what happened? I started watching YouTube videos of Brad saying, hey, get on the internet, post 4 times a day, build your brand. And dude, listen to me. It's going to take years. And dude, when you hear that, if I hired you and I said, hey, you're going to stay broke for a couple of years and then you'll start making it. Most people will walk right out. They won't come bring their A game. They won't be fired up. They're not going to be fire breathing dragons to want to win. They're going to play half-ass because until they start seeing results, okay, they're not going to give all they got. Me and my wife sat at home and started shooting videos every day. I'm an introvert. I swear, getting on a camera is a totally different deal than talking face to face to somebody.
Yeah.
It just got weird. So I'm shooting content. I'm making YouTube videos for people that, like, number one, there's nobody watching me. So when you're making a video and you have 0 friends or 0 followers, that's just freaking weird, right? But Brad said, do it. And guess what? After about a year of shooting a video or 2 every day and working on these social media platforms, we started to build ourselves to be real people, real, like, not frauds, like real people. Like, we were sharing our heart. We were sharing everything we knew. Our marriage was getting closer. And by the way, they say dreams come with a price. You bet your ass they did. And I'm going to tell you this, we're committed 365. Me and my wife, we literally, we did something that was cool. And by the way, when we say take your family with you, my wife has a beautiful house. She built it. Everything's amazing. She's happy as heck. And she sees that I want to get into entrepreneurship. We go together and we sold our $1 million house, and we went and slept on mattresses in a floor in a rent house in 2019. By the way, we didn't tell anybody. Because most people will be like, well, see, most people will be like, oh, you gave up your house? Oh my God, what are you guys doing? Are you struggling? Is everything okay? No. We purposely took steps back. We knew there was a journey ahead that was going to be very hard, and it's going to be something that we've never endured, and we needed to be ready, and we needed to be closer than ever to make sure that nothing pulled us apart while we were going through this.
Yes.
We were preparing for war. We told our children, my wife, she tells the story the best. She goes, hey, guys, listen to me. You know, you guys got the swimming pool, the backyard, you got everything you need right now. Life's amazing. You got your, we're going to sell it all. You know, mom and dad tells you can't jump on the furniture and all that stuff. Guess what? We're going to have fun. We're going to put a mattress on the ground. We can build forts. You can jump on it. We can do all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to have fun, and we're not going to get onto you for it. Kids are like, dang, man, this is cool. So
really?
we all went as a family. We left everything that was fake, and we rebuilt. And guess what happened?
Wow.
A year and a half later, we found ourselves, because you got to find yourself. You know what I mean? Right? Mm-hmm. We were around the right people. We were learning how to, do things that we had never done before. There's an old saying. It says the only way to wealth is through self-education. So I needed to educate myself, and she did too, on how to get to this next level. And we did it. And dude, we freaking mentally became, rhino thick skin. We didn't care what other people said about us. And everybody was like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys okay? Where are you guys at? What's going on? What happened to your job? What do you, it's like, oh, I see you all over social media now. What are you doing? You've never done that before. That's not like you. Is everything okay? It's like, dude, listen to me. We cut off everybody. Dude, you got to cut off everybody, literally. And me, her, and our kids built the Elliot group. And guess what? Here's what my wife did, which is so cool. Grant Cardone is Grant Cardone. Mm-hmm. Tony Robbins is Tony Robbins. All these people have a name. Andy Frisella is Andy Frisella. These guys have names, right? Ed Milet is Ed Milet. Bradley is Bradley.
Yeah.
My wife goes, you are not going to be Andy Elliott. You are going to be the Elliott Group, and we are going to build a team. And just like when you were in a dealership, we are going to build a team. And we are going to build a group of people who are loyal, who are trustworthy, people that are underdogs, people that have been burned, people that have been waiting for the right opportunity, looking for their way out, for a group of leaders like us that they can do business with. And we're going to create the most passionate team you've ever seen. We're going to run as a unit, an army. And guess what happened? We did it. One hire at a time. We didn't hire people with education and experience. We hired people who were hungry and wanted an opportunity. And we were trainers. And we indoctrinated them into our culture. And then guess what happened? We just built like crazy. And in 3-4 years, we took it from a $0 company to a $100 million company like that. And how did we do it?
That's unbelievable. I mean, it's such an impactful, amazing, inspirational story.
Well, but everybody can do it.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just be around the right people. And if there are no people that are the right people right now, then get away from everyone in your life and go move. We moved from Oklahoma to Scottsdale, Arizona. When my wife knew that I was making a shift, she could see it in my eyes that I was changing. And she's like, okay, we're moving. Immediately, we uprooted and we moved across the country. Why? Because she dropped me in a new place that allowed me to not see any landmarks anymore. Nobody that knew me, anything that would remind me of my old self. and we recreate it again, and we do it every single day. Our goal for anybody watching this is, your goal is for your children to look up to you as their hero. That's our goal.
I love
Our
that.
goal is
Yeah.
for your wife, like if you're married, for your wife to admire you, or for your husband to admire you and say, my God, wow, this is amazing. I can't believe I get to be married to this person. See, if my wife always says, you see these people in marriage counseling, and you'll tell that my mentor is my wife, because she's very smart. And by the way, it's full of wisdom. You know what she says? She says, you see all these people going through like marriage counseling and all this stuff. She goes, dude, listen to me. We could save them all their money. If they treated each other like it was the beginning, there would never be an end. And that's the problem.
Whoa, that's I like that statement.
Yeah, because look, dude, if we're friends and you're like, oh, I like this guy, he's cool. Well, once we get comfortable around each other, the coolness wears off, and now we start taking each other for granted. When you take your kids home from the hospital the day they're born, you're like, hey, I'm going to tuck you in every night. I'm going to read you a prayer every night. I'm going to brush your teeth, give you a shower. Man, I'm going to be there every night. No, you're not. 3 years later, you're gone. You're like, get your ass in bed. It's time for school. It's like everything changes. People become ungrateful. Reality shifts. Perspective changes. The world sets in. People get comfortable in all these beautiful things they have. They're literally looking for the next best thing, and they have everything they freaking need. And if they took care of that, then God would probably give them way more. But guess what? They don't. So our marriage, our team, we always talk about being grateful all day long. We talk about it every day, like, just, dude, like, the universe is very giving. It will give you whatever you want. Like, if you don't have something, you can do the right things and look up in a couple months and have it. I truly believe that. And
gratitude is so key. So do you do, like, when you wake up, is that the first thing you do is gratitude exercises?
No, but I wish it was. I wish I could tell you that it was, because I know everybody. Listen, let me just tell you real. When I wake up, I get up with my wife. We don't want to get up because me and her love sleep. Yeah. But the alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and we know it's time to grind. Me and her get out of the bed together. We walk over, brush our teeth. We grab a cup of coffee and we walk out the door, and we don't feel like it.
Where's the shower in this situation?
When we get up?
Yeah. Oh, okay. You're like, we brush our teeth, we get coffee, we're out the door. I'm like, what about the shower?
No, that's after the gym. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's after the gym. Yeah. But listen, we get up, we brush our teeth, grab a cup of coffee, and me and her walk out together. And listen to me. When we walk in the gym, we go to war. We work out really, really hard, and we kill it. And an hour later, we're in the best mood ever. We feel amazing. Yeah. We both go home. We walk in. Our children run. They see us. We grab them. We show them some love. They're homeschooled, right? Which is awesome. You know what I'm saying? My wife found the greatest teacher in the world, Christian lady. She's also military. Oh, nice. She's a fireball. Our kids are very good sellers. She won't let them in, speak. She won't let them talk their way out of anything. We hold them disciplined, great kids, super loving. We need someone, they're salesmen like us. So they'll try to sell their way out of everything. So she does a good job. Me and her go to the office, 8:30 meeting. And guess what? My gratefulness is this. I just can't believe I get to do this 24/7, 365. I really think that when you can get into a flow state of just like, you don't need to do a gratitude book. You don't need to write anything down. It's on my heart. It's in my eyes. It's the way I treat people. It's the smile on my face. It's the passion that when I speak, it comes from my heart, not with my mouth. All day long, man, that gratitude time is being there. And I'm telling you, in the beginning, some people got to write it down. Dude, I'm just so far past that. I should be dead. I shouldn't be here. I don't know how in the heck we even got here. I had a meeting this morning. Our whole team's around. I said, how the hell did we even get here? I mean, I don't even know how it happened. But you know what I know? Is that I know that I don't take it for granted. And I know that the one thing that we talk about constantly in every meeting and all day long is to keep it new and keep it fresh. And by the way, our culture of people we're around, like our guys, our gals that work with us, if somebody was to cheat on their girlfriend, we'd fire them. Listen, I don't care what it is. We only hire people who believe what we believe. We're not around. I like that. Yeah, like we've created a high fence. Like if you're a hunter, There's a thing called a high fence where you put all the best animals in one place. So if a hunter wants to come in, he's always guaranteed a great kill because there's the best animals in there. We put a high fence. We guard our mines. We guard our place. We've got about a 70,000 square foot facility here in Scottsdale. You drive by, there's a massive line on the building. You can hear the energy from the road. When you come in, dude, there's glass everywhere. It's just mountains, palm trees, all glass, energy, fire, music, lights, everything's going on. The sales team is selling 24/7, 365. We can't even get them to go home. They don't want to go home. They would do this for free.
That's unbelievable. So let's talk about how do you, in your personal opinion or advice for others, create a work-life balance? Because that's important too.
Okay, so I would say wherever you are, be there. Okay, we're going to go back to that, but I'm going to say
present, be in the present.
There is no balance. Let's just call it what it is. If you're chasing something big, balance is gone. And by the way, let's explain this to you. Okay. So I'm with my wife. We've been working until 8 o'clock at night. We've been at work since 8 in the morning. People say, oh my God, well, your kids go to bed at 8:30, let's say, right? Guess what happens? We go home for 30 minutes. Just imagine this, 30 minutes. People say, I need 3 hours a day with my kids. No, you don't. You know what you need to do? Put your damn phone down. You need to consciously go play with your kids. You need to show them some love, tickle them, have a good time, wrap them up. And guess what? In 30 minutes, all 3 of my kids will say, Dad, enough. We're good. We love you. We're good. We are so good. And guess what? Our kids will feel the love that they need. Listen, life is what you believe it is. Our children, they're a part of our business. Okay, are 7 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old. Since they were 3 years old, my wife says a simple thing to them all the time. And I say it as well, but she says it very well. She says, listen, do you want me to treat you like the badass that I see you are? Okay, do you want me to treat you like that? Or do you want me to treat you like most little 4-year-olds get treated? What do you want to do? Like the badass or like a normal average 4-year-old? And our kids say, no, treat me like the badass. Okay, listen to me. Our kids, they study entrepreneurship. They read, like the books they read are like the Jocko Willink's Warrior Kids books. They literally, their teachers teach them entrepreneurship, how to be hard, how to have a strong heart, how to be loving. You know, we teach them about God also. We teach them about leadership. We teach them about not being a fraud. We have a fitness hour that they have to go be fit. We teach them that lazy people, right? Like that's not an option. That's not our family. No. Dude, we've recreated our DNA. And I mean that. And I think that every person watching this, like, dude, like, I don't care who your parents are. And by the way, we are so good to our kids that like our kids, our hardest problem is that they've been given everything they want. So like we need to get them ready for disappointment. My wife, dude, we treat them very tough. And by the way, we surround them with so much love, man. Our kids, we get home, they run and tackle us. It's a game. Who can tackle mom and dad the fastest? Who can give the most kisses? Who can do the stuff? You know why? Because we've created that culture as parents. And we've explained to them that, listen to me, the rest of the kids, the moms and the dads, they're so busy. They're doing all this stuff. They don't have time to really pay attention and see what they got and show each other love. Life's going to fly, kiddos. Okay, let's soak each other up 30 minutes or 3 hours. We take them on adventures. We spend time with them. We have some beach houses in Mexico. We take our team every quarter to Mexico and we spend a lot of time with them. I mean, all of us, we all go.
That is great. So do you, okay. So what are because I know we are running out of time. I want to get, what are your, just break them down real quick, like your top tips, 3, 4, 5, whatever they are, to build confidence for somebody listening today that maybe is lacking in confidence, saying, I know I can do this. I just can't seem to get the confidence to believe in myself. Like, what are the top things they can do today to start building that?
So number one, you got to believe in yourself. And if you follow Bradley, you've heard him say it a million times. He'll say you'll never out earn your own self-worth. So number one, you got to believe your worth. Okay, because you can't have confidence. You can't talk to somebody about doing anything if you don't believe in yourself. So that's number one. Number two, you got to stop being a damn introvert. Okay, if you want to have confidence, you're going to have to practice mastering a stranger. Let me explain what I mean. if you want to be a great communicator or a closer, whatever we want to call it, you need to learn how to make a connection with people really fast. So I would tell everybody, every person you walk by from now on, notice my mind, my face, I'll start smiling. I can walk by and say, hey, how you doing? My name's Andy. What's going on? And immediately I can make them smile. I can make them emulate me, and I can tear down a wall like that. Everyone, if you want to have massive confidence, you're going to need to learn how to master a stranger. So number one, believe that you're worth it and you can have it all. Now you believe in yourself. Now, number two, you're going to go practice and you're going to go shake people's hands. Everybody you walk by, smile at them. Everyone, smile at them. Listen, the more hands you shake, the more money you make, the more people you meet, dude, the better off you're going to be with people. Like, go freaking get out there and meet people. Like, that's the biggest deal. Like, quit being non-social. Get your freaking butt out there. Okay. Number three, a big deal I like is learn your business so that you know how to talk about your business. You know, so when I was younger, my manager told me, go study for at least an hour to an hour and a half a day on everything in our industry. Because if I was on Wall Street, right, and you were talking to me, you were like, hey, so tell me about this stock. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know. Let me check with my manager. Immediately, you don't want me anymore. You want the manager. Right. And isn't that the world now? People just can't do a good job. Okay. So listen to me, like, so know your job. Like, when you do more than you're supposed to do, you get paid more than you're supposed to get paid. Like, do more, learn your industry. So.
Okay. Love that. Great point.
Yeah. So that's a big one. Like, so just study your industry. And then I'm going to tie in the fitness part. And I know that, like, people don't want to hear this, but like,
it's so true though.
Freaking work out and your confidence will go through the roof. You'll look in the mirror and you'll like who you see. Listen to me. We all are naked in the morning and we're getting dressed. Okay. And by the way, I'm not shaming anybody not in great shape. I'm trying to tell you that you probably don't like not being in great shape. Okay. Especially if you're a winner and you're here. Okay. So take care of yourself. And when you're getting dressed, when that dress or that suit or that shirt starts to fit you a little better, all of a sudden, man, that makes you want to go connect with more people because you like who you see in the mirror. And you're thinking, man, other people probably like this too, you know? And by the way, I'm an ugly dude. I'm not a great looking dude, but I'm in great shape. So it makes me more attractive by being in great shape. So for anybody that's like not the best looking dude and you're not a Brad Pitt type dude or chick, go get in shape. And by the way, when people see you want to talk about confidence, if they see that you're disciplined and you're taking care of yourself, they're going to be like, well, you know, they're pretty disciplined. I'm pretty sure they're going to do what they say they're going to do because I can see them. Yeah. And by the way, your things you said to get more confident is get around people that have a lot of confidence and get around people that have done some amazing things and that have delusional beliefs, right? Which I call delusional beliefs, which means they're unreasonable for what they want. And really study these people. Like, dude, how is this person have what I want? And I'm probably even better than them. Dude, they have a different mindset than you. They believe that they can have whatever they want and therefore they get it, which is the law of attraction. Call it whatever you want. They keep getting it because they believe they can have it. So I would tell you, work on your mental mindset. And there's nothing to me more powerful than training. So our training center, and by the way, our training center, once you log in, the first thing we cover is mindset. And then it goes habits, shows you how to run your day. And then it goes to skill set. And then it shows people how to maneuver everything in communication when making a sell or when overcoming an objection or when pushing your way through something, whether it's on the phone or face-to-face. And dude, when people watch it, they like change their whole life. But in order to get all this, let's just go back to this. In order to get all this and to make this an actual educational podcast and not an entertainment podcast, you're going to have to train every freaking day, 365 days a year. Dreams come with the price. You don't pay the price, you don't get the dream. Yeah. And that's it, man. And I'm telling you, dude, everybody can freaking have it. And just like your life's changing, you said you went to an event, your life changed. Look, you were already doing great. You know, a lot of people would say, oh, she's doing amazing. Dude, you knew there was so much more. Until
Mhm.
you empty the tank, which I don't think there is a way to even do that. Until you've emptied the tank, keep studying, keep chasing. And I'll say one last thing. The world's your library, right? Like we're in a time right now in 2023, we have access to lots of information and lots
Yeah.
of people. So the world's your library. If you know what you're looking for, it'll give you what you're looking for. So my question is, what are you thinking about all day? Because what you think about all day is who you become. You got a
Mhm.
9-figure mindset or you got a minimum wage mindset, right? What's
I
going on
like
in that
that.
old brain of yours?
Yeah.
And I think so. If everybody could just follow this journey, and by the way, if they've made it this far, well, they're the true 1%ers that are going to make it. A lot of people,
Yeah.
they'll just, hey, next. This isn't as educational as I thought it was. There wasn't nothing, I'm sorry, or entertainment as much as I thought it was. There's nothing entertaining about this. This is like how to make it A to Z. And
Yeah.
all they had to do is just write some stuff down, learn their industry, get in the gym, right? Speak to themselves good, surround themselves with the right people. And the deal is they've all heard it before. But hopefully at some point in time, they'll find someone to plug
Yeah.
into and gravitate towards, and that person will change their life.
Well, exactly. So, okay. So before we wrap up, tell everybody where they can find you. He has great social media posts, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube that I've seen. Very inspirational. Definitely check that out. So give us all those
Yeah, so
social
like if you
plugs.
just go to YouTube, just type in Andy Elliott, 2 L's, 2 T's. It'll
Mhm.
pull up 1,000 videos on sales training. But here's the main deal. For inspiration or motivational, go to Instagram and just type in official Andy Elliott.
Uh-huh.
Every day we have 4 reels dropping on just the way we run our life and how we think, right? Which
Yeah.
15 seconds maybe could shift your whole day. It can be a paradigm shift. Man, I don't know why I lost perspective. I need to get back out there and go do it. And then I've got some cool bracelets. If somebody, and I'm just saying, if somebody wants some of these bracelets, our whole team wears them. They say committed 365, and then they say dreams come with a price. Okay, so we give them out at every event. We give them to everybody. And we ship out thousands of them a month, just so people can remember that, hey, if I don't pay the price, I'm not getting the dream. Okay, just stay on track. By the way,
I love that.
365, not 364, not 300. It's every day, right? Dude, listen, it takes, Madison, it takes so much to get this edge. You don't want to give it up. It's taken you years to get where you're at. You don't want to give that up. So it's very important that you don't let one day down. Because if you let off the gas for 10 days, you might come back and have to go back 6 months earlier just to get back where you're at today. So we always say, like, don't lose that edge, don't quit. So if anybody wants one of those bracelets, they can text. I'll give you a cell phone. They can just text, hey, give me one of those dreams come with a price bracelets, and we'll get their address and we'll mail them out as many as they need to their team or whatever. We give them out everywhere. But the number is 918. So it's 918-210-0254. So 918-210-0254. They can text, say, hey, send me one of those motivational bracelets. We'll ship them out, their teams, whatever. We've been handing them out for years, but everybody runs with them. And it's just a rubber bracelet, dude. And
I
it's just
love
where you
it.
look at people like, hell yeah. So there you go.
Sometimes you need that reminder, which is so great. So and it's good what you said about being committed every day. It take it back to your physical fitness thing. If you don't go to the gym and lift weights for 10 days, it's really, really hard to get back, even if you miss 2 days. So think of your work that way. You know, you're going to get out of shape in your work, so to say.
Yeah. And just like it takes 90 days to see a difference in eating at the gym, and it takes time, it's going to take time when you start investing in yourself and doing stuff, but it's going to come. Okay. Yeah. But the time's going to pass anyways. So if you're a skeptic and you're like, well, I don't know, man, what if I do it and it don't work? Well, just stay the same then. And you'll know what you'll have in 3 months, 5 months, a year, 10 months. You'll know. Yeah. But if you're not like, well, I don't want that. Well, then do something, dummy.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then it will change.
Yep. You're the only one responsible to change your life. Always remember that. Well, this has been absolutely amazing. I had a whole list of questions, but you just seemed to automatically run through them. So this was wonderful. This was so inspiring for me as well. I was taking notes during it. So I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go work on that. You've inspired me. So if you inspired me, you inspired the audience. So I'm very thankful for you.
Yeah, well, you're awesome. Everybody's awesome. And like I said, for the people that took the time to do it, the reason why we took the time to make it was just so it can impact people. And I know that people always think there's like a catch, like, why are we doing this? Dude, listen to me. We changed our life because we watched something like this one time and it clicked. And then we said, damn it, I'm settling. And then we started making some choices and making some decisions, and then life started changing. So anyways, if anybody got that change, that ain't good.
I love that.
They'll kick
I love
butt,
that.
and there you go.
Yeah, so you guys make sure to follow Elliot on the social media sites. You can go to what's the give them the name of your company website so they can sign up for sales training if they're interested in that.
Yeah, well, if you go listen, and by the way, it's Elliot247.com, which is 2 L's, 2 T's on Elliot, just like the shirt. And then 24/7, like 247, because we do it all the time. .com. But if they go to official Andy Elliot, and like they'll just message me on IG and just say, hey, I saw you. Like literally we'll reach out and we'll just ask you, what are you looking for? Like, what do you want? Like, is it personal coaching? Is it life coaching? Is it sales training? Like what is it that you want? Because at the end of the day, we just want to make sure if we have something, we got a lot of stuff, but if you want something and we have it, dude, like we'll change your life. We always say the day you're born, the day you die, and the day your life changes forever. When people train with us, literally we got to give them a new birth certificate. We change their name. Like
I love that.
Like we're intense about it. And a lot of people, they need someone who's like not going to let up on them and hold them accountable and push them. So some coaching programs feed you ice cream and make you feel good. We give you the cold, hard truth. We're like, dude, if you keep doing that, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. You got to shift now. Don't be a dummy. Show up on the calls. If you don't show up on the calls, you better watch the recording. Like we make sure our people do it. You get notifications every day that said, hey, you skipped the training. Quit being weak. Log in tonight before you go to bed. Like it hits you every
I like that
when you don't do it. So we watch you. And that's why our stuff works, because we all get busy. And busy equals broke. So like, you don't want to do that.
Yes, exactly. So you guys get productive and get paid.
Here we go.
The message of the day. All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone that's listening, wherever you may be. I appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll see you next time to find out who's next.
Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@nexttomadison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.